All right. I got a quick show today, and I got a lot to get off my chest. But before I get into those politics, my name is Michael DeLu, and you're watching Pull Up the Tape. All right, with that being said, I would like to ask that anybody who is an avid sports fan, whether it's soccer, basketball, football, UFC, MM, whatever it is, if you enjoy any of the sports I just listed, do me a favor and share this podcast with anybody you know. Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, which I know it's not going to be many people, and if you're watching this podcast on my YouTube channel, I know it's not going to be many people, share this podcast with anybody you know. I cannot grow this podcast without your help. Okay? And for those of you guys who are listening via all the platforms that my podcast is shared on, like Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast, share. Again, share. And if you're watching this episode of the Pull Up the Tape on my YouTube channel, do me a favor, like this video. Guess what? Well, this is for the first time in Pull Up the Tape history. I had somebody dislike my video, and to whoever disliked my video, I want to say you're a complete hater. What is there? What is there to hate on? Come on now. I'm not popping on YouTube yet, so like, why are you hating on me? But anyways, like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell notification if you haven't already. All right. With that being said, let me get into my first topic. All right, so the NBA playoffs started 3 days ago. Okay, at the time this episode release is going to be Thursday. I shoot my episodes the day before, so NBA playoffs started. I mean, it's Wednesday right now, but NBA playoffs start. Okay, let's say 4 days ago. All right, since then, as it's Wednesday right now, so I'm getting ready to watch today's slate of games. So. Think Milwaukee's not playing. Toronto versus the Nets. Who else is playing? I think Toronto, Boston, and Philly. The Mavericks and the Clippers, and I can't remember. Oh, Denver and Utah. Those games are playing. So all game ones are in the book. All right, game twos are going to happen today and tomorrow. Games two will be happening today and tomorrow. All right. So the first thing I want to touch on, I want to get to is my Lakers. Okay. So yesterday we lost to the Blazers by 7, 93-100. And I like to look at things half empty, half full. You know, of course, I do see myself doing this for the next 20 years. So I do like to remain as neutral as possible when it comes to analyzing these games and analyzing what exactly is going on. And I don't like to be too what's the word? I can't really even explain what the word is right now. We're just too optimistic or just too I like to step when I discuss the Lakers in front of my platform, I like to take myself away from, being a Laker fan, even though I am one. But I will say this, whether I'm a Laker fan or not, I don't have to be a Laker fan to say, Danny Green, you played like shit. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, you played like shit too. You guys both owe the Lakers money, okay? Danny Green, we pay you $15 million a year to play defense and hit threes. You did neither of those things at an elite level in game one, okay? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I'm going to call him by his full government. You played like absolute ass cheeks. You had one more point than I did. One more point than I did. The entire Lakers. They shot 5 for 32? Are you fucking kidding me? 5 for 32? 5 for 32 from 3? That's not going to cut it. At all. That's not going to cut it at all. Like, at all. At all. And yesterday, I vividly saw how much, not yesterday, as I was watching game one, I vividly saw how much the Lakers missed Avery Bradley. I'm not going to say Avery Bradley's going to neutralize Dame or anything like that, but he's definitely going to make it hard for him to get 30. And to some of the things, to the positives. The Lakers did shoot horribly, okay? But they were up late in the fourth quarter. Not late in the fourth quarter. They were up midway through the fourth. So you can look at it you can look at the glass half full, where you can say, okay, well, the Lakers didn't shoot very well, but they only lost by single digits, and they were up. They were in the game the entire time and up 6 with 6 minutes left to go. And then you could also say, well, the Lakers kind of slowed down Dame because he had 30, and for the first time in a long time, you didn't really see Dame going crazy the entire game. Where I think at one point he went like a whole quarter without scoring, or a quarter and a half. So I understand. But I'm not ready to jump ship or say that the Lakers are like, look. Portland is not your typical 8 seed. Okay? Portland is not an 8 seed at all. The Lakers should treat this like they're in the second round of the playoffs or the Western Conference Finals, because this Portland team is capable of doing that. Like, single-handedly, this Portland team is capable. This Portland team is capable of beating the Rockets. This Portland team is capable of beating the Thunder, which is who they would play if they were able to advance to the next round, if they beat the Lakers. So this is easily a team that can make it to the conference finals that they're playing in the first round of the playoffs. Why? Portland had a lot of injuries this year. Nurkic was injured. CJ was injured. Hassan Whiteside was injured. Like, they had a lot of injuries. They had a lot of pieces. Like, they're not your typical 8 seed. If this team would have been healthy all season, they probably would have finished in the top half of the Western Conference standings. Okay? But with that being said, there's no excuse. The Lakers need to get it together. And yes, the Lakers did shoot very badly yesterday, but that's not an anomaly. That's been happening since the bubble started. Lakers have been one of the poorest shooting teams. I'm not even just talking about threes. Shooting teams, not just threes, just shooting percentage, threes, as well as offensive efficiency and points scored per game. They rank almost dead last in all these categories, which is crazy to think, because, and I'm not creating excuses, but it's the fact of the matter. The Lakers were clicking in March when the season was suspended. The Lakers were clicking. Okay, let's not act like that's not true. They had just came off big wins against the Clippers and the Bucks within a matter of 48 hours. And then a week after that, the season was postponed. Okay? With that being said, the Lakers need to get it together. Okay? LeBron James played great yesterday. He had a triple-double. Anthony Davis, where were you at? Okay? Where were you at? You had 21 in the first half, but you had 7 points in the second half? Come on, big dog. We need more from you. You got to dominate. 7 points? Nah. You need at least 15 each half, bro. At least. You have to be dominant. This whole, come on now. We gave up way too much. We gave up way too much to get you. And I'm not going to jump ship. It's only one, bro. This time, again, even if you want to look at last year's playoffs, I mean, the Raptors lost game 1 to the Magic. If you want to look at the Bucks lost game 1 to the Celtics. And then they gentleman sweeped them 4 in a row. Same thing with the Raptors. It's not the end of the world. But this Portland team is a good team, and they should be taken very, very seriously. Portland's been playing with house money. Portland's been playing with the intensity. Portland has treated every single game like it was a playoff game. And it showed yesterday. They were able to come out and punch the Lakers in the mouth. I wouldn't say punch the Lakers in the mouth, but, they came out and they won the game. That's props to them, honestly. And I honestly knew for a fact the game was over once Melo hit that three. Melo hit that three, I said, okay, yeah, we're not winning this game anymore. That pushed it to a 6-point lead with 2 minutes left. I was like, I don't know. I don't think we're going to get it. I can't wait for to see how the Lakers respond. Once again, Anthony Davis, you have to come alive, especially in the fourth quarter. The Lakers as a team need to shoot better. All right, hey, Kuz, I'm going to get on you too. We need more than 14 points. You have to prove that you earned, like, you have to prove that that we made the right choice by trading away Brandon Ingram. Okay? Because at this point, it kind of looks like we should have kept him and then sent your ass to the Pelicans. Okay? Come on now. Make up your mind, bro. What you gonna do? You gonna show up or you gonna disappear? Same thing with AD. Okay? The Lakers need to get together. They can't afford to go down 2-0. They cannot afford to go down 2-0. Not to this team. This team is way too dangerous. Not to this team. To my next topic. So Masai Ujiri, it's crazy to think because I didn't know that this actually happened until today. Okay, I was just made aware of it until actually today. So apparently Masai Ujiri, when the Raptors won the championship game, no, not the championship, won game 6 of the finals last year. As the game was winding down, he tried to gain access onto, actually the game was over. The game was actually over. He tried to gain access onto the court. And apparently he got into an altercation with a security guard, as well as a security guard who is a sheriff, I believe. He's a sheriff. And there was a physical altercation that took place. And I'm pulling up the facts right now. Physical altercation that took place. And again, so I'm gonna repeat it like this. Masai Ujiri attempts to gain access to the court, but he is halted by a deputy whose name is Alan Strickland. Okay? So Alan Strickland claimed that Masai Ujiri assaulted him so much to the point where he wasn't able, like, where he had to take leave, where he didn't feel comfortable just to working anymore. He had to take administrative leave or something like that. I can't. Yeah, administrative leave, and and then so much so where Strickland, Adam Strickland, what is his name? Alan Strickland. So then he says he sues, he files in a suit against Ujiri, saying that, you know, he was assaulted, and for all these damages and blah blah blah, pretty much, and then essentially just throwing dirt on Masai Ujiri's name and just X, Y, and Z. I didn't know of this until today. But Masai Ujiri the entire time claimed his innocence and said the truth will come to light. And it wasn't until this week that footage of the situation came out where Masai Ujiri actually wasn't the aggressor. And everything that sheriff, deputy, whatever the hell you want to call him, said was a fucking lie. Masai Ujiri wasn't the aggressor at all. And as a matter of fact, Masai Ujiri was, if Masai Ujiri would have teed off and like two-pieced him, I wouldn't have blamed him. The video shows Masai Ujiri walking towards the baseline to gain access to the court, and he's pulling out his credentials, and the deputy, security, whatever you want to call him, pushes Masai Ujiri and tells him to back the fuck up. And then Masai Ujiri walks up again, holding his credentials out, and then he gets pushed again. So at that point, if Masai Ujiri wanted to fire on him and two-piece him, he wouldn't have been wrong. But he didn't. And then they were separated from each other, and then eventually he gained access onto the court, because I do remember him being on the court. But it is after Masai Ujiri got shoved the second time, he shoved the dude back. And it's a very sad situation because, one, why did it take this long for video footage to come out clearing Masai Ujiri's name? And apparently Masai Ujiri was getting his name dragged and thrown dirt, like just there was smut on his name, and he was just getting dragged over and over again. The crazy thing is I knew nothing about this, and it's really sad. And Masai Ujiri is actually countersuing this individual because the proof and the evidence and the body cam shows that none of the claims that the sheriff made were true at all. And it's crazy that somebody would put together a bold-faced lie, knowing something like his body cam, knowing that he's wearing a body cam, and that maybe one day this evidence might come out. But this just goes to show you that when your skin is a certain color, people are going to try and fuck you over. And I'm really disappointed that it took a whole year, more than a year, for this body cam footage to come out and for Masai Ujiri's name to get cleared up. That's absolutely disgusting. And the NBA has stood behind Masai Ujiri the whole time, and so has the Raptors, as he's always proclaimed and said that, the truth is going to come out. I did no such thing. I didn't harm that man. I wasn't the aggressor in the situation. And me personally, I've been through a situation like this before my senior year of college. I don't want to really get into politics on that. That was just that alone was a horrible situation. But that's really disappointing. And instead, I don't even understand why that dude felt the need to do what he did. It just seemed extra and unnecessary, and honestly, incredibly abrasive and just unnecessary. Would he have shoved a white dude like that if he was, walking towards him? Probably not. And I hate to bring in race or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is the deputy was white. Masai Ujiri is of African American descent, and yeah, you see the lies that he claimed within his in his suit. He was the aggressor. He's he's definitely gonna lose his job after that. His suit was just chock full of so many lies. Okay. This is what he claimed. In Strickland's suit, he claimed that he suffered injury to his body, health, strength, activity in person, all which have caused him to continue to cause pain and continue to cause him great mental, emotional, psychological, physical, and nervous pain and suffering. So much so that he couldn't do his job. And it says right here that Alameda County Sheriff Greg Ahern initially requested Ujiri be charged with battery of peace officer after the incident took place, claiming that Ujiri struck Strickland's jaw and shoulder. But the Alameda County District Attorney's Office declined to press any charges after a month-long investigation ended in a meeting between the office and Ujiri and his lawyers in October. But Ujiri's countersuing, which includes the fact that the Raptors and the NBA Maple Leaf, as plaintiffs, says that Strickland falsified their encounter and attempted to portray Ujiri as the initial aggressor and inherently violent individual. And yeah, that's just a joke. Like, first of all, Masai is gonna win his countersuit, and that dude should lose his job. Nothing more to say. There's a special place in hell for individuals like Alan Strickland or whatever the fuck his name is. And yeah, that really does make me upset because I went through something like that my senior year of college where I almost didn't graduate, and it's just an ugly situation where your word is pitted up against another person's, and then and when it comes to certain things, you're in this country, they say innocent until proven guilty, but there's certain things where you get accused of where you're guilty until you can prove you're innocent. For real. And that's 100% facts. Straight up. And the last thing I want to talk about is Paul Pierce. Okay? And you guys know, I don't really like to, again, I try my best to steer clear from entertaining nonsense, but sometimes I just have to address it. And I promise in the future I won't be addressing nonsense like this at all regularly. But Paul Pierce on First Take today, yesterday, said that if LeBron James loses this series or something along those lines, that he's no longer allowed loses, gets knocked out in the first round, he's no longer allowed to say, he's no longer allowed in the GOAT conversation. And here's my thing with that. First of all, Paul Pierce, how do I say this nicely? Fuck you, okay? Paul Pierce thinks because he won one championship that he suddenly is Paul Pierce has looked like a clown on so many different occasions on ESPN's platform. He consistently makes himself look bad by the stuff he says, does, just bad. First of all, LeBron James has never lost. LeBron James has never lost in the first round, okay? And what Paul Pierce said was if he loses, he's no longer allowed in the GOAT conversation and blah, blah, blah. Bro, Jordan has lost in the first round of playoffs multiple times, okay? Multiple times. So LeBron losing for the first time in his career, I don't think that's the end of the world. And it's not a typical 8 seed he's losing to. This is actually a very, very good team, okay? 2, just stop with the LeBron hate, like, please. He even mentioned how LeBron isn't top 5 and is like, bro, please, he reiterated that at the end, and that alone was probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard him say. No, actually, that's not true. He said he was a better player than Dwayne Wade. He said he was better than Klay Thompson. He said a bunch of stuff. But Paul Pierce, stop talking, please, please. Like ESPN, stop giving this clown a platform. Why? Paul Pierce, you were a good player. I respect your game, respect you as a player, but as a commentator, as an analyst, like, bro, no. This is the same person. This is the same person last year when his bum ass Celtics went up 1-0 against the Bucks. He said, "Yeah, I don't know how Milwaukee recovers from this. I'm calling sweep." Oh my God, I should have put money. I wish I would have been like face to face with Paul Pierce where I could have actually put bread on that. Oh my God, I would have came up. Paul Pierce is a goofy. Jesus. Oh my God, I'm Paul Pierce is crazy. Paul Pierce is delusional. Paul Pierce might be a little psychotic. In his takes, just not honestly. His takes never make sense ever. But I mean, that's just. I mean, there's just a lot of but Paul Pierce makes Kendrick Perkins look like an amazing analyst, and sometimes Kendrick Perkins be talking out his ass too and saying crazy shit. But hey, I don't know. I mean, as the playoffs go on and on, as the playoffs continue to drag deeper in whatever, you're going to obviously hear more and more crazy takes from all these crazy-ass people. That's why I don't understand why. That's exactly why y'all should stop messing with y'all need to stop. Look, stop watching First Take and all these trash-ass shows. They pay dudes to say dumb shit on camera. They literally pay them to say dumb shit on camera. It makes no sense. Who the hell wants to listen to horrible takes, take after take of nonsense? These dudes really be saying just garbage on the airways in front of millions of people. No, but that needs to stop. It's never going to stop. That's why y'all need to tap in with me. Feel me? Stop in to pull up the tape. Stop playing with your boy. Feel me? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your brother, tell your teammate, tell your coach. Stop playing. We here 247 every single day. Stop playing with me. All right, that's the end of today's show. My name is Michael DeLu, and you've just been listening to Pull Up the Tape. If you're listening to this podcast via any of the platforms that I usually stream on and I'm distributing my podcast on, do me a favor and tap in. Tell people about this podcast. Tell them. Feel me? I speak the real, that hot, that fire. That's what I speak because I'm a real one. Okay? And if you're watching this podcast via my YouTube channel, do me a favor. Like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification if you already haven't. All right? With that being said, bow, movie. We're going to shake up the room. Let's get it.